In the domain of international relations by way of people-to-people contact as well as bilateral contact between the think tanks, a roundtable conference took place in Delhi on 16th with regard to strengthening of Indo-German relations. It was organized by the Konrade-Adenauer-Stiftung and the Lex Consilium Foundation. There were 6 German delegates and 7 from India who took part at the headquarters or India office of Konrade-Adenauer-Stiftung on the afternoon of 16th August 24. Out of the 6 German delegates, 3 were those lawyers who have been or who are members of parliament. Other 3 are lawyers. With regard to Indian participants, they were all practicing lawyers. It was relating to different aspects and areas of practice. The delegation was on the German side headed by Mr. Christian Herte, Professor Dr. Gunther Krings, Mr. Angser Havling. All 3 of them are members of parliament, and between them they have been members of parliament for over 53 years. The other 3, the names you have seen, the Indian side had Mr. Hareen Rawal, the senior advocate who was earlier the Additional Solicitor General of India. He is practicing in Supreme Court as well as various high courts of India, belongs to Ahmedabad, followed by Mr. Kush Chaturvedi. He is an advocate on record who passed out from GLC Mumbai in 2006, enrolled with Delhi Bar Council. He practices in the Supreme Court independently since 2013 and has a busy practice. The other delegate was Mr. Subhranshu Padhi. He passed out from Symbiosis Society's Law College, Pune. He is also an advocate on record practicing in Supreme Court. He has represented the state of Karnataka. And Mr. Gaurav Adu Somali, an advocate with over 13 years of experience, product of NLU Jodhpur, and is into primarily corporate law and has been an in-house counsel also for a travel and hospitality. Karan Bindra is the founder and partner at KIAA law firm. He's a practicing advocate and he has clients from Russia, Middle East and other European countries. Then there was Dr. Akriti Mathur. She is an advocate with a decade of experience and she mainly goes into matters pertaining to money laundering and customs law. She holds an LLM from ILI and also has a doctorate in law from Guru Gobind University. Lastly, Mr. Faraz Khan. He is an advocate in Supreme Court. His areas relate to anti-money laundering and policy, indirect taxation, socio-economic offenses, forfeiture of property laws. He is also into taxation. The Indian side was led by Maj Gen Nilendra Kumar, who is the Executive President, Indian Society of International Law. He was Army's Judge Advocate General from 2001 to 8 and later headed the Amity Law School and was awarded AVSM and VSM by the President. This roundtable discussion on the Indian side was organized by the Lex Consilium Foundation, which is a Section 8 company registered on 27th April 2017, founded by Major General Nilendra Kumar. Their objectives, that's very important to note, pertain to clinical legal education. They impart career guidance to the students as well as the law teachers. They arrange and guide the students with regard to internship, authorship of books, and also YouTube contents. Some of the major activities that have been taken, organized by Lex Consilium Foundation include Palkhiwala Birth Centenary, the YouTube videos, appearances on television, and the lectures. The second important event organized by them was Nani Palkhiwala Quiz on Constitutional Law. This is for the law students. It's one of the most absorbing, popular, and challenging quiz for the law students on Constitution. LCF has brought out certain books like the Juvenile Justice Commentary that came out in 2018, with the Shikshan Margdarshika, 2020, Law of Armed Conflict Application and Practice 2021, Rethinking Palkhiwala Centenary Commemorative Volume, Protection of Children from Sexual Offences Act, and Constitution of India MCQs, etc., which is also having an audio portion in the book. So these are the 6 publications brought out, and the next significant activity for the Lex Consilium Foundation is their video channel on YouTube. Insofar as law is concerned, they have brought out 101 videos on nurturing smart teachers, where the law students are taught how to get into law teaching. And thereafter we moved to the Indian legal and judicial landscape, and this was by way of a presentation for about 3 minutes each by the 6 delegates from the Indian side. It was pointed out that in the Supreme Court of India's annual report for 2022 and 23, some of the technological accomplishments are indicated, and they have been followed up later by different high courts, which are there on the slide. A mention was also made by the 3 major criminal laws, that is Bharatiya Nyaya Sanhita, that is IPC, CRPC, Bharatiya Nagrik Suraksha Sanhita, and Bharatiya Sakshi Adhiniyam, that is the Indian Evidence Act. Now, these salient features of these laws were indicated, and also, for example, in the Bharatiya Nyaya Sanhita, what are the new offenses that have been talked about, incorporated, the section relating to death caused by negligence, how sexual offenses against women and children have been incorporated. Likewise, the key reforms that are incorporated under the CRPC, and also in the Indian Evidence Act, what are the different major changes indicated which fall into the domain of documentary evidence pertaining to oral evidence, how the electronic or digital records can be produced before the court as evidence, and with regard to joint trials, whether evidence of one would be admissible against the others. Then the 7 delegates from the Indian side, they spoke for about 3 minutes each on the topics that are there on the slide, and this was to give an overview to the German delegates. After that, the Germans spoke, and later on followed by interaction at the round table, and subsequently during one-to-one interaction, and that fell in the area of appointment of judges, politics, and the others. And this way, a way was found for collaboration between Indian and German lawyers. How can they come up, and that would lead to intervention and support by the Bar Council and UGC. And this interaction, it is expected, would pave the way for enhancement of people-to-people contact between the 2 great countries who have economics and trade between them, and intensify political engagements to bolster rule of law for strengthening democratic governance. And now you can see a video and a few pictures. Thank you. Did I get you right, putting politics into law?
That's our...
Oh, I thought you would say the other way around.
No, that's your job. to get out of the law our politics. But we try to put our political agenda in laws. And that's what we as politicians do. But some of us are not only interested in putting politics into law, but also are really interested in law itself. Some say beauty